Yo, what is up? It's your boy Andrew here with another podcast episode video with John. And today I am pumped because we're going to be going through the Super Bowl predictions as well as our NFL wrap up. It's sad that it had to come to an end, but it had to come to an end eventually. And, you know, my takeaway from this year is that the NFL is rigged. How do you feel about that, John?
This is the best guy out here, bro. Hey, I was getting much better than Andrew right here. The NFL is scripted.
I mean, I can't even imagine Damar Hamlin's face when he reads the NFL script for the year. Um, it's just terrible. I mean, and Joseph Asai too. Like Joseph Asai has gotten so much hate, undeserved. Honestly, I love Joseph Asai. He's a guy. Um,
No, that's a wow. That's actually
anyway,
that's fucking wow.
we got the Super Bowl though. I think that this is probably the most boring Super Bowl I've seen in the past
I just think you're
decade.
mad because the Bengals didn't make it.
Nah,
That's
dude,
all
it's
I'm
so
done.
boring. Both one seeds in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
And the
wow.
Eagles and the Chiefs, like, who cares? It's almost as bad as like the Chiefs versus the Bucks. Like, who cares?
Andrew,
Also,
I just I
everybody,
just think
everybody's
you're
like,
mad that the
everybody's like, Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce, they in the Super Bowl.
well, I just think you're mad the Bengals didn't make it, but
Oh, also new setup, by the way, new background, in case for y'all watching.
we don't care.
But yeah, um, let's get into it. Let's give our predictions. This is gonna be probably a Super Bowl that I would be fine missing. I'm not gonna miss it, of course, but I would be fine missing this. I'm not
Dude,
looking
you're
forward
just
to it.
I mean, stop hating
No,
just
it's
because your
I'm
team
not
didn't
lying
make
to
it,
you. I
bro.
don't care about either of these teams. I have no passion towards any of these teams. I hate Eagles fans, and I hate, hate, hate is a strong word. Hate the city of Philadelphia. And the Chiefs beat the Bengals, so I'm not liking the Chiefs right now.
All right, whatever. So I want to hear your prediction first, Andrew, because you hate both these
I
teams.
yeah, no. I for sure. On God. I so not many injuries. I think L'Jarius Sneed and McCole Hardman are struggling. Not many injuries for this game. It just shows how important keeping a healthy lineup is. Um, let's first run it through. Eagles this year. The Eagles' schedule this year has been pretty simple. And let's just first, before we go into the regular season, because that was a long time ago, let's just first go into the playoffs. First round, bye. Second round, divisional. They beat the 6 seed Giants with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. And then and then in the NFC Championship, they beat the fourth string 49ers, who also don't have Fred Warner and Nick Bosa. So, Eagles have had a really easy ride. On the contrary, the Chiefs have had a tough ride, I would say. Obviously, they had a bye. I think the Jags are significantly better than the Giants, and I think also missing Patrick Mahomes for most of that game is a real test. Most teams would crumble there, and the Chiefs were looking like they were gonna, but they pulled it off. And then I think that the Bengals was a tough contest, and if a couple calls don't go the Chiefs' way, and if that ref isn't a Chiefs fan, then the Bengals end up taking that to OT, and we'll see what happens from there. But it was a close game. It was a little rigged. I'm salty. I'll admit it. I'm salty still. Okay, let's go to the Eagles' schedule. Eagles at the beginning of the season, they played the Lions. They won by 3 points. Easily beat the Vikings. Monday Night Football. Beat the Commanders. Barely beat the Jags. Barely beat the Cardinals. Beat the Cowboys. Beat the Steelers. Beat the Texans. Lost to the Commanders in a game that I predicted. Beat the Colts.
Okay.
They beat the Packers. They beat the Titans. They beat the Giants. They beat the Bears. Lost to the Cowboys without Jalen Hurts. Lost to the Eagles without Jalen Hurts. And then they beat
Did
the
they,
Giants
did
barely.
they lose to the Eagles, Andrew?
Did the Eagles lose to the Eagles? No. I
You
don't think
said
the
that.
Eagles.
You said they lost to the Eagles.
Oh, Giants lost to the Eagles. The Eagles beat the
Yeah.
Giants.
There you go.
Okay, so let's run it back here. The only tough game that I listed there that is actually a test for the Eagles is the Packers on November 27th. That was a tough game. And the Cowboys on October 16th. and the Vikings on September 19th. Besides those 3 games, they only played one other playoff team, being the Jags and the Giants. They had an easy regular season. They are overrated. Period. Overrated. Slay. Okay, now let's look at the Chiefs schedule. I'm wilding right now. Chiefs schedule for this season. I'm gonna just review it for you.
Yeah, I'm there.
Let's first start with the playoff run. Since I already did that for the Chiefs. So okay, they lose to the Colts week 3, but they beat the Cardinals week 1. They barely beat the Chargers week 2 in a game they shouldn't have won. Justin Herbert threw. They lost to the Colts week 3. They beat the Bucks week 4. They beat the Raiders week 5 in a really good game in Mexico. They lost to the Bills week 6. They beat the 49ers without CMC, so I don't really count that. Week 7. Week 8, they beat the Titans in OT. They beat the Jags, then they beat the Chargers, then they beat the Rams, then they lost to the Bengals, then they beat the Broncos, then they beat the Texans, then they beat the Seahawks, and they beat the Broncos again, and then they beat the Raiders. Now, there's a significantly better amount of opponents in the schedule. They played the Raiders in the beginning of the season when the Raiders were actually good. They played the Chargers, who are a playoff team, and when the Chargers were hot. They played the Bills, the 49ers, the Bucks, and the Packers, and not the Packers, and the Bengals. And they played the Seahawks. That's like 6 playoff teams they played in the regular season, and they still kept a record of 13-3. Now that is a solid record, and their division was harder. I don't care really what people are going to say about the Eagles division.
The Eagles division. No. That's not the
division. No. Let me talk, and then you can talk. Let me talk. As in the words of Kevin De Bruyne, let me talk. So I honestly think that Cowboys are beyond overrated, and that if they don't have this, that entire division, the NFC East, had the freest schedule this year. Sure, they're fine. They're good teams, right? But I really don't care. At the end of the day, I'm choosing Chargers over Giants. I'm choosing Chargers over Cowboys. I'm choosing Giants to lose to the Raiders. I would choose any single team, especially the Broncos right now with their new coach, over the Giants. You may call me crazy. But the Broncos, the Broncos, when they hired their new coach, almost beat the Chiefs. And they beat the Chargers. Those are 2 really solid teams. Right after they hired that new coach, he balled out. And I think that next year, the NFC East is going to go, woo, and the AFC West is going to go, woo.
We're not talking about this year, though.
Okay, anyway.
Andrew, let me tell you something. The Broncos. Did they make the playoffs?
No, but I'm saying the last 2 weeks. I'm saying the last 2 weeks.
We're not talking about the last 2 weeks. The NFC East is a way harder division. They had 3 playoff teams.
Yeah, sure, this year. No, I agree, this year.
The Chargers were the worst playoff team, bro. They were not good. Justin Herbert, that whole offense is just in shambles because of Brandon Staley, who cannot coach. I don't think the Chargers were not that good.
Almost in more shambles than the gaps in your Chiefs, bro.
No, you cannot convince me that AFC West was better than NFC East. Nah. You're tweaking, bro.
Not this year, but next year. Next year, Broncos are going to the playoffs.
Are we talking about next year? No, we're talking about this year.
Right, okay, fine. This year, I think by the end of 2 weeks, by the final 2 weeks of this year, every single team in the AFC West is beating the Giants.
No, they're not.
Okay, not the Raiders.
Nor the Broncos.
No, Broncos win.
Russell Wilson still sucks.
Broncos country, what's wrong?
I did, bro.
I don't know. I think that NFC East is overrated and AFC West is underrated, and that's a fair statement. I'm not necessarily saying that the NFC East was worse. I'm just saying that they were overrated, and I'm saying that the AFC West was underrated. Okay?
All right. Okay.
Okay, agree with that.
I don't think they were better.
Okay. So Super Bowl, back to it. Chiefs had a harder schedule this regular season. Chiefs had a harder schedule in the playoffs. Eagles had an easier schedule in regular season. Eagles had an easier schedule in the playoffs. Chiefs actually had to play good teams to get there. Though we can all agree that the AFC, I think that the AFC at the beginning of these playoffs, people were taking the Bengals over the Eagles, people were taking the Chiefs over the Eagles, people were taking the Bills over the Eagles. I think that the AFC was really stacked to begin this playoffs. And for that reason, I think this should be everybody's pick. Even with Patrick Mahomes being injured, he showed he is him. He can do it all. He showed he's the MVP in that Bengals game. I'm not gonna lie, he's the best quarterback in the NFL by far. By far. And I'm a Joe Burrow stan, but by far he's the best QB in the league. With that saying, I got the Chiefs beating the Eagles with a score of 31-17. It's gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be a blowout. I hate the Eagles. I don't think they're a good team. I think they have a good defense. But do I think they can stop Patrick Mahomes? No. Period. All right. What's your prediction, John?
All right. So like I said, I think the Chiefs overall had a tougher schedule in the regular season and in the playoffs. The Eagles, they definitely have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. They're definitely a little overrated. They shouldn't have started off 13-0. They only played 3 good teams, like you said.
They didn't start out 13-0, dog.
What?
They didn't start out 13-0. They started out 8-0.
Oh, yeah, same thing pretty much. All good. But at the end of the day, the Eagles have such a high-powered offense, and the Chiefs are missing L'Jarius Sneed and Mecole Hardman. I don't think the Chiefs' offense, they only put up 23 points against the Bengals with the refs' help. So I feel like the defense could definitely shut down the Chiefs, and the offense could exploit the Chiefs' defense. And if you looked at NFL Hate Memes Instagram post, the script for the NFL was actually leaked. It says Eagles 37, Chiefs 34. And so that's why I'm going with the Eagles 37-34. The NFL script was leaked. And, I'm a big believer in the NFL script this year. And there's a script going on. I believe it. So I'm going with Eagles 37.
Bro, you are more crazy than the gap between your teeth, bro.
All right, listen. listen. No, I was out of pocket, bro. I was out of pocket. It's my expander, bro. I was actually out of pocket, bro.
It is crazy. I hope the audience is seeing that gap. Absolutely crazy. I mean, Troy Polamalu is gonna see that. He's gonna split the C gap right now. I can see it.
Nah, you actually get out of pocket, bro. You actually get out of pocket, then, bro.
Okay. Well, I think that's a dumb prediction. I agree. The NFL probably no. The NFL. Part of me wants to say the NFL is scripted. Damar Hamlin, the Chiefs. I think that it's more than that. There is a mafia in the NFL going on right now.
No way you went that far, dog.
They are paying refs.
That's too wild.
They are paying refs because Patty Mahomes has a bounty on Jason Kelce. He has a bounty on him. It's mafia. This is mafia type stuff. You got to shoot people to get there. And I think that there's mafia going on in the NFL, and I think that they're paying off the refs to make Patty Mahomes get all the players. I think that by the end of today, I think that the Eagles have a bounty on Tony Romo. And if Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs don't win, then Tony Romo will never be able to see his family again.
Here's the thing, right? I think the leader of the mafia, right, is Tony Romo or Chris Collinsworth, right? Because the amount of meat writing. Patty Mahomes. Because of the amount of meat writing that has been done on Patty Mahomes these last 2 games is unacceptable. Like it's as out of hand, out of pocket. It's horrible. I can't take it anymore. I cannot take it anymore. Yeah. I can't listen to another Patrick Mahomes meat writing special, bro. I can't do it. It's
terrible. Well, that's the only positive about the NFL going into the offseason is that we won't have to hear Tony Romo's voice again.
That's true.
And so let's get this straight. Those are our Super Bowl predictions. John had a prediction of 37-34. He read it off the script itself. Eagles winning. I have the Chiefs winning 31-17. Very different scorelines. Okay, that's our Super Bowl predictions. I honestly don't know what else we can say. It's gonna be an interesting Super Bowl.
I'm excited, even though Andrew's not, but I'm very excited for the Super Bowl.
I'm not that excited. I mean, it's gonna.
But you know what? You know what though? The Chiefs are trying to break the curse of putting the jersey on the statue outside the Eagle Stadium. The the Rocky statue. Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
So another reason why I think the Eagles might win.
Wait. Who's wearing the home jerseys and who's wearing the away jerseys?
I don't know. I don't look at that script.
That matters a lot. Philadelphia is the home team in the Super Bowl. Here's a statistic for you. Teams that have worn the away jersey in the past 20 Super Bowls, 17 times, I believe, they win. So always wear an away jersey in the Super Bowl. That's what I'm going to say. And the Chiefs are wearing the away jersey this time, so that just solidifies my prediction. I've honestly was trying to switch my pick because last year I read the statistics before the Rams and Bengals, and I'm like, no shot. And then the Rams won. And the Rams won.
Another thing for you. What color do you think the Gatorade is going to be that's poured on the winning coach?
Orange. Always orange.
I'm going to take the under here. I'm going to say red.
Red. No.
Red.
I think it might be yellow or orange. It's always yellow or orange.
I'm going red or yellow.
Red is actually crazy.
If the Eagles win, yellow. If the Chiefs win, red.
That is crazy. Well, I guess we'll have to see. But before we end our episode, let's get straight into it. Let's review the NFL season. What are your thoughts on this past NFL season, John? Besides that it was rigged.
All right, I'm gonna give my overall and I'll rate on a scale of 1 to 10. Right. This NFL season, and this is not including bias. All right. This NFL season has been crazy. I'm gonna be honest. It's been a while, bro. Some of these games are out of this world. Like, as the one that comes to the top of my head is the Colts blowing the 33-point lead. That was wild. I mean, it was a good NFL season. A lot happened. Upsets galore. But at the end of the day, the NFL scripted. So, I mean, there's really nothing you can do about that. I'll rate the NFL season like a 7. A solid 7, 6 or 7. Nothing too much. But I just think this NFL season really brings out that the NFL scripted.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was kind of a trash season. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't like it that much. I thought there were some crazy moments. I thought there was some really cool stuff. But I don't know. It just felt like there were some weeks where I would watch games all day, and then I would just get up and I would be like, why did I just do that? Because it was such a trash day. Because some of the weeks were so bad. Thanksgiving Day was amazing. The games on that day were amazing.
Yeah.
I remember that Patriots Bills game was amazing. Christmas Day was amazing. With that being said, I think that I'm gonna give it a 6. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it too much this year. I mean, it was fine. And my Bengals made it to the AFC Championship, which is great, but I feel like I don't know, I just feel like everything went by. Everything that I didn't want, like all the bad stuff went by super slow, and all the good stuff went by super fast. Like, I remember the first 3 weeks of the season. That went by so slow, and it was terrible that it went by so slow. Since I'm a Bengals fan, and that's when we sucked. And then I remember like weeks like after Buffalo Wild Wings, Sean and I went to Buffalo Wild Wings together. After that, I felt like the season just went by zoom.
Yeah, the season went by so fast. Like, I can't even already over. I'm not trying to go through another boring off season, dog.
Oh, it sucks. At least maybe there'll be some good trades.
I'm looking forward to that draft, dog. We're gonna trade.
I'm looking forward to see what's happening with Joe Mixon.
I literally a week before I was talking about it with Andrew, and I said he's gonna remember what I said. I told you he's eventually gonna have another case, and then the next week he actually did. That's wild.
But it got disproven.
True, it did.
Anyway, I don't know.
Woman abuser on the street.
It was an interesting. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible stuff. Tyreek Hill. I hate Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I hate Deshaun Watson.
I hate Deshaun Watson. dude, you can't just go to a massage parlor like that, dude. It's not okay. Some people were saying that he was getting like topped. I say it was bottom Deshaun Watson. Anyway,
my bet, I'm gonna take the under. I'm gonna say he was getting some sloppy toppy.
I think that this was a decent NFL season, and I hope that y'all enjoyed our podcast coverage throughout. It was an interesting podcast. We didn't get an episode out to you every single week, but we definitely delivered with some banger episodes. That Matt Araiza episode was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good episode.
Best episode, honestly. Best episode. Hey, just Champions League episode coming soon, boys.
Yeah, now we're moving. We got to move to something else. Can't have any. We're gonna have football off season, at least a little bit, but football's gonna be boring for a bit. So we're gonna be moving to Champions League, Premier League, and the MLS. So
much soccer right now.
We're soccer fans, and obviously when the NBA starts heating up, some NBA playoff action. Oh my God, let's just talk about the NBA just for a second here. Oh, what a week!
Yeah, I mean, KD, Russell Brickbook, LeBron James, just to name a few. Wild.
It's crazy. LeBron James, what did LeBron James do? Kyrie too.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, Kyrie. I think the ultimate loser out of all of this is the Nuggets. They went from being contenders, like favorites by far, to being bottom, like, no shot they're beating the Mavericks, no shot they're beating the Suns. I don't think the Suns are going to make the final. You heard it here first. I haven't even seen the Suns play a game. I don't think they have enough depth on the bench. I don't think they're going to make the finals. I think they're going to lose to the Nuggets in the Eastern Conference final. Western Conference final. You heard it here first.
I mean, I agree with you. The Suns always seem to choke it. I mean, it always seems like, look at the Brooklyn Nets. They assembled a superpowered team with Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin Durant, and they sucked. I mean, like, for all the players down there, they should have done a lot better. But
hey, Sixers and 6.
All right, buddy. All right.
We'll see. Anyway, we're gonna get a Champions League episode. Be looking for that on Monday night. Be looking for that. It should be a good one. And
Man City, it's coming home, baby.
As a Liverpool fan, it's been tough this season, but I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think we're going to beat Real Madrid.
Shut the fuck up. You're not beating Real Madrid.
All right. We shall see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being with us this entire NFL season. And peace.